Hi friends, Caitlin here from Sass and Stitch Crochet, and today I'll be walking you through a tutorial for the Easy Ribbed Earwarmer. This earwarmer is beginner friendly and takes just about an hour to make, and you can make this to any size you desire. For this earwarmer, you can use DK weight yarn, you could use worsted weight yarn, or like I am, you can use DK weight with a lace strand added in like Suri or mohair. This white skein is Suri yarn. So with just DK, you'll use a 5.5mm crochet hook. With DK plus lace or with worsted, you want to use a 6mm crochet hook. So let's go ahead and get started. Now for this, we're going to be working foundation half double crochet stitches. The reason I'm advising this rather than chaining and half double crochet in the next row is because I find chains very unreliable for determining how long your project is going to be, but foundation stitches are much more reliable. This way we can confidently make this earwarmer to any size. Child, adult, anywhere in between. So we're going to start with a slip knot. Insert your hook. And we'll be starting with just a chain 2. So yarn over and pull through the loop on the hook. Yarn over, pull through. That's 2 chains. Now we'll be doing our first foundation half double crochet stitch. So locate the first stitch, the first chain that you made, yarn over, and insert your hook into that chain. Then yarn over and pull through 1. Now standardly for a half double crochet, you would typically yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook, but we're not going to do that here because this is foundation half double crochet, so it's a little bit different. Instead, you're going to yarn over and pull through the first loop on your hook. This is acting as your chain, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. So foundation half double crochet means we're kind of creating the chain and the half double crochet all in one go. So you're kind of working upside down. So now turn your work upside down and you'll locate this V at the bottom of your work right under that stitch you just made. Yarn over and insert into both loops from that V. Yarn over and pull through 1 and give it a little bit of stretch. Yarn over, pull through 1, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. That's your second stitch. So you can see you're expanding your work this way. You've got 2 stitches there. So, but we're working along the bottom. So turn towards the bottom again, locate that V on the bottom, those 2 strands. Yarn over and insert into both of those strands. Yarn over, pull through 1, give it a little stretch, yarn over, pull through 1, and yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. If you'd like a more in-depth tutorial on foundation half double crochet, you can watch this video on my channel that does this a little more in depth for you. But for now, we'll keep moving on. So you are going to foundation half double crochet until your length is 3 to 4 inches less than your head circumference. For a child, I would recommend doing 2 to 3 inches less than the head circumference intended. So for example, I have a 21-inch circumference head, so mine will be about 17 to 18 inches long when I'm done with this. This is because you'll have quite a little bit of stretch in your foundation row, and you want to make sure that your final earwarmer is not too loose. Now, if you really don't like foundation half double crochet, you can just chain until you're 3 to 4 inches away from your head circumference, and then do a row of regular half double crochet It might take a little bit more guesswork, but you can do that. I personally prefer this method for when you're doing a made-to-measure item such as this. So I'm going to continue on, and I'll meet you back when I have my first row completed. Okay, I have my first row done. I have about 17 to 18 inches. And I'm going to bring the start of my work around to the end of my work. And you want to be careful not to twist this foundation row. And once we get a few more stitches in, you can test out the length around your head, but you'll want to wait a little bit until we get these two sides connected first. So we're going to be working into the third loop only in every stitch around. So you'll yarn over, and this is the first stitch here. This is the starting chain on the right. This is your first stitch, and you'll see at the top of the stitches you have a front loop and a back loop. So this is the top view. You'll have front loops and back loops, and if you turn towards the back slightly, there's a third loop back there, which is called the third loop. We'll be working into this third loop in every stitch. So again, back to the first stitch here. We'll find the third loop on the back here. So front, back, third. Yarn over and insert your hook into that third loop only. Yarn over and pull through one. Yarn over and pull through all three loops on your hook. You want to keep this first stitch a little bit tighter so it doesn't get too loose here. You'll notice we're not doing any kind of joining or chaining. We're just going right into it. Again, yarn over, find the third loop of the next stitch, this one here. Insert your hook. Yarn over and pull through one. Yarn over and pull through all three. This is called half double crochet in the third loop only. Again, in the next stitch, front loop, back loop, third loop. Insert into that third loop. Yarn over, pull through one. Yarn over, pull through all three. We'll continue repeating this all the way around in every stitch. And don't worry about the fact that this join over where your starting knot is a little uneven. We're going to fix that at the very end. So just leave that for now. And you'll notice this ridge starting to form, which will actually make it easier as you go to identify that third loop. You can kind of track the front and back loops along the line here, and much easier find that third loop on the back side. Continue working half double crochet in the third loop only, and I'll meet you back at the end of the row. Okay, so I'm near the end of the second row here, and you'll see this kind of looks a little funny. It might look like a slip stitch join or something, but remember, we didn't do anything like that. So you can still work in the third loop only of these kind of weird looking spots here as you cross over again from the end back to the beginning. And just like that, you just keep going around and around and around. There's no join, no start and end of the row officially. And we're going to keep doing this until we are satisfied, almost satisfied with the height of our ear warmer. So for an adult size, I recommend working until you are almost at 4 inches tall. For a child size, you could do 3 to 3.5 inches tall. The reason I say almost to 4 inches or to whatever height you'd like to be at is because the last row will have a slightly different instruction. So for me, I'm going to work until I'm right at about 3.75 inches. And then I'll meet you back here when I get to that point, and we will do the last row together. Okay, I've worked around and around until I'm almost at about 4 inches tall. Even though there's not an official start or end to the row, you want to go ahead and end this row instruction kind of in line height-wise with the start of your work at the bottom, which you can tell from your starting tail. So I have just a couple stitches until I'm pretty much in line, but it doesn't have to be exact. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you see how the top of your work and the bottom of your work look just slightly different. The half double crochet gives a tall rim around the top of your ear warmer. We want it to look uniform. So this next row we're going to be working just single crochet into the third loop only. Oh, missed a strand. So single crochet is insert into the third loop only, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, and pull through 2. I'm going a little bit quick because I'm assuming you're already familiar with single crochet, but if you aren't, you can quickly pop to something and find a video on single crochet. And you'll still be working into that third loop only. You'll work all the way around until you get right back around to that starting tail. Okay, I've worked back around to the front, and in the last stitch I'm going to work just a simple slip stitch in that third loop. So insert, this one's a little tight, and work a slip stitch. Now you can fasten off your work, and you want to leave a little bit of a longer tail. I would say leave yourself about a foot on your tail. Snip it off, pull through, leave that alone for now, and flip to the bottom here. We'll go ahead and attach a yarn needle to this bottom tail. And we're going to close up this kind of awkward ridge gap here. So find the first stitch across the way, insert your yarn needle through, and then find the first stitch along the other side here next to your knot and insert your needle through. This closes that up. And then you might have a little bit of a weird hole. Mine is a little bit fluffy, so I don't really notice it. But if you notice yours, you can just work a couple needle stitches back and forth to close up that gap. Oh, come on. Once you've worked a couple times back and forth, you can bring your tail to the back and continue weaving in your end the rest of the way. So just pick a couple random stitches to work through to weave in your tail. Snip it off when you're satisfied. And now we'll be continuing on to creating the cinch at the front of the ear warmer. So find your long tail at the top of your work and attach your yarn needle and set it aside just for a moment. Now take your ear warmer and bend the front in half. Right where the knots are, you want that to be the very front. I'm going to fold it in half downward. And then you're going to fold the bottom edge up to the middle and the top edge up to the middle. And this is going to be the front cinch of your ear warmer. So we're going to take our yarn needle and insert down through all 4 layers that we have here, right in the middle. And pull that nice and snug. and then pick a new spot nearby and insert your needle up through all 4 layers. And we'll be doing that a couple of times here. I'm going to make sure we get the cinch nice and secure. So just go back and forth a few times. Make sure you're going through all 4 layers. And then if you'll notice, this cinch is a little bit wide here, like we have a lot of space to work with here. So you want to kind of do a couple passes through the middle, up and down a few times, and then you want to do some passes further back. So with each pass, do a few passes in the front, a few in the middle, and then a few towards the back, and this will really secure this cinch here. Try to go through all 4 layers each time. Once you're happy with the look, and you can also do a pull test. If you pull on it and nothing moves, then you've got it nice and secure. You can go ahead and finish weaving in this end. And there you have it. This was the easy ribbed ear warmer. I hope you found it easy, and I hope it was a fun, quick project for you. Have fun experimenting with different yarn weights with this. Again, I would recommend either DK weight, worsted weight, or you could have fun like I did with a DK and a lace weight yarn to add some magical fluff. Let me know what you thought about the pattern in the comments. If you did enjoy it, consider supporting this pattern by buying the PDF version from my Etsy shop. I would love to see your comments. I would love to see your tags on Instagram. You can tag me at sass.and.stitch. I would absolutely love to see your project. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.